right. Well, welcome. So what I wanted to do is just take a moment for all of us to take a deep breath. Kind of let things go. Oh, Cinda's getting on. We'll wait for her in a second. Okay, I think she can hear us maybe. So I invite you to feel the field of good that is within this sacred ground of sovereignty. And notice the gentle cocoon around us that is filled with safety, love, and generosity. And let us welcome our guides, our ancestors, and all who join in supporting our uplifting work. Cinda's here. So we'll unmute for a little bit because what we're going to do is begin with our names, where we are located on the planet, along with what we want to bring into the circle today. So just recognize that you need to unmute. What we're going to do is tag each other the way we've been doing. And I'll start. I'm going to say just a moment of a little more about me. So I'm Linda Savage. I'm in San Diego, California. And I'm a therapist and a shamanic practitioner. And my passion has been for 37 years empowering women. So what I bring into the circle is the feeling of abundance. And I tag, okay, Arlie.
Hi, I'm Arlie. I'm in Eastbourne, New Zealand. And what I would like to bring to the circle is curiosity and anticipation. I have a sense that something good, big, a thing is going to happen this morning in this circle.
Whoa.
And I would like to pass on to Kelly.
Hello, Kelly here in Portland, Oregon. And I would like to bring in the embracing of change. And I will tag Emma.
Hello, everyone. I am Emma in Williamstown, Massachusetts. And I would like to bring in the joy of new beginnings. I will tag Tina.
Hello, this is Tina in Portland, Oregon. And what I want to bring in is grounding, of being able to really identify that grounding so that I can expand, so that we can all expand and not tip over. So, and I am going to tag Sue.
Thank you, Tina. I'm Sue. I'm in Issaquah, Washington. And I'm bringing to the circle imbalance to be transformed individually and collectively. The collective human consciousness. And I will tag Angelique.
Thank you, Sue. I'm in the Netherlands, in Europe, on the other side of the ocean. Wherever you live, I'm on the other side. And I love to see your beautiful faces again. I bring into the circle quiet and peace. And I tag Cinda.
Linda here, Portland, Oregon, just south of, and I just really want to bring in the element of water and the flow that goes with that. And Audrey, I'll bring you.
Hi, I'm Audrey and I'm in Wyoming, Pennsylvania. And I bring in compassion for ourselves and each other as we embrace the new journeys that we take individually and collectively.
And do you want to tag?
I forgot, I'm so sorry, Sharon. I tag Sharon.
Thanks, Audrey. Sharon Raji Maynard here on Movie Island in Washington still. And I want to bring in the possibilities of breaking down or the boundaries of what we can or cannot do. And back to you, Linda.
Did everyone have a chance? Did we miss anybody? We got everybody. Okay. Okay, so once again, let's take a deep breath and this time settle in and go in. We invite the beings of light to help us journey across dimensions and to take us where we need to go, showing us what we need to see and that we will bring back to share with our sisters. So everybody can go where they go. So we're all back. So as we begin to share the wisdom that we received, I wanted to say that I feel each of us has a unique note that adds to the harmony of the circle. And we share our wisdom that is our unique experience. So let's go with whoever wants to begin. And then tag the next person.
I heard drumming. So I followed the sounds of drums into the woods to a circle of women. And there were women from all walks and places there. There were the expected elders from native tribes who were doing the drumming. There was a woman in sharp, smart business clothes. There was a young mother with 4 kids, age 3 and under. Just all women from all walks, not what you would expect to find in the woods at a drumming circle. So an elder took me aside to a sort of nest, and there was a baby made of light in it. Think of the image at the end of the movie 2001 Space Odyssey. I think that's the right one, where there was the infant made of light. And of course, it wasn't a baby. And it was a way of expressing that there's an energy coming into the world. It then showed itself as an iridescent ball of energy, and it rose up, shifting through all the colors. It was still in a sphere. When it was high enough, it spread across the sky, lighting the sky up like the colors of a sunrise, a beautiful sunrise. And I was told that this energy is now there. I got a feeling of it always has been there, but it's been made more accessible or something. It's not, this is a brand new energy, but it's accessible. And we are to reach up, feel it, and pull it down. Words like ground it, own it, use it, incorporate it, started flowing through my head into ourselves, but we're supposed to use it. Then I was told to take a ball of it and bring it back to this group to share. So the only way that I can think of to do that is to ask everybody to put their feet on the floor and to hold your hands out in a receiving position, please. Let's see if we can do this. Take a breath, and here it comes. And that was where I went. And that was what I did.
Thank you.
Emma? Oops.
Emma, you were tagged.
I wasn't sure. Mine was mostly short and very personal. Today I went to pick up the keys to my new place and to just do a walkthrough and get a sense of it. It's adorable. And its walls are very, very, very pale lavender. And it's just very, very sweet. And so what I received initially was fear of being seen. Too many hide in the shadows created by others and by themselves. It has been safer for millennia. It continues to be safer on the physical levels, but is now deeply destructive on the spiritual levels, on the emotional levels, on the connection to sense of self and deep self. And then this new guide I met recently, it's like, oh, and I went to a bar and I met this new guide. But anyway, basically told me that I was about to begin lessons once I moved and unpacked, and that they had made the way easy and clear so I could take care of that quickly and get to work. So I am wondering what's about to happen. And so, yeah, stop hiding to the woman who's been hiding for a week and a half. So I did good. I will call on Cinda.
Holding space for your lavender room. And thank you, Arlie. Welcome to the world of grace. That's the impression I got. Wow. So I went in two different directions at the same time, which was really interesting. I went into the future and not too far in the future. And the energy of grace, just very similar to what Arlie saw and felt. The energy of grace was swirling and shifting and transmuting the energy. And there was a whole feeling of peace and calm because of it. And that was so reassuring. But then the other direction I was going into was into my body. I traveled through my body like I was a little tiny something in a spaceship. I think Inner Space was that movie, I'm traveling through, and I was traveling through my intestines for some reason. Well, it must have been because I was in a tunnel kind of doing this. And I just went through and I was zapping things and stitching things and collecting. I had a colonoscopy 2 weeks ago, so maybe there's a bit of that. Yeah, so it was interesting. It was healing in both directions, healing of self and then healing of the planet, and seeing the calmness and the peacefulness in both directions. Yeah, Sue.
Thank you, Cinda. So mine was very personal again. My meditations on Monday have really changed. So I was hoping to get some information about the extremes. And all I got to see was the extremes. I'm working with a woman who has had so many miracles, it just makes my head spin. She's doing all the things she'd never been able to do before. Started at the very end of October, and it's still happening. The impossible keeps happening. And then I read about the flooding, flash flooding in Europe, and then I read about all kinds of things. There's extremes going on all the time. And I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm not this extreme and I'm not this extreme. I'm in the middle. And when Arlie said there's a new energy coming in, I keep hearing there's a new energy coming in, and I keep thinking, so there must be a new energy coming in all the time, because somebody says, oh, there's one coming in, there's one coming in, there's one coming in. And it seems like that's been going on for quite a while. So I'm thinking, and I could feel it, there's a new energy coming in. Something's been making me really anxious, more anxious than normal. And it's not an extreme anxiety, it's just an annoying anxiety. And usually what that means is something new, something very deep is coming up, and it's a struggle for it to come up. There's a new energy coming in and I'm adjusting to it. It can be a number of things. And sometimes I ask for clarity, and if nothing comes, I just do my best to accept where I am. But when I was looking at all these extremes, I felt this immense calm, this incredibly deep calm that I'm okay. And I didn't get an answer to my question, but I got a feeling. And the feeling is that no matter what happens around me, I am to maintain that state of calm, because it goes out. I think I've gotten this before, but I keep asking, thinking there might be a new answer. It doesn't seem to be a new answer. It seems to be the same answer, and it just keeps coming back. So I'm thinking that must be an important feedback. So I'm, again, just accepting and allowing that state of being calm to be my base. And for that is what I want to have come through me and go out. Because that seems to do more than anything I can think of to do. It seems to just be a natural state of being. So that's where I am. And Sharon, you want to go next?
It's a good vibrational space to hold, Sue, for sure. What I was so drawn to, the attention I was drawn to, probably because of the heat and the floods, and is what's causing this heat is the CO2 being trapped, the methane being trapped, and it causes a lot of heat because it's trapped and causing not a flow. So my question was, why is it trapped? Why is it trapped? And does it have to remain trapped? So that was my question. They said no. They said it gets trapped or stuck because the outsiders created that system. It's kind of the same principle as we create a problem, and then we also then have the answer to the problem. You know, pharmaceuticals are a good example of that, but a lot of our marketing is the same way. Create a need for your people, tell them they have a need, and then you have the answer. That's how it is on the mundane level. But on a big level, it says, they said that they created a boundary, a system to trap energy waste, if you will. So everything we do energy wise, there is a benefit that comes from it, and then there is the exhaust, if you will, the entropy. And in gas, for one thing, in fossil fuels, that entropy called CO2, I think, it gets trapped, and then when it's trapped, it can't go any further, and so it gets hot down underneath it. So I said, is that necessary? They said, it's not necessary. Just change the system. Get rid of the outside energies, keep working on them, but remove that system and make it so that energy, cleared energy, sovereign energy, gets used for benefit, and any entropy from it goes into like a composting system to be used later for benefit. So there's no trapping. It's all about using energy, which is what we're supposed to do here. We can't do anything else but. So energy is used for energy of good, any entropy or exhaust type stuff from it gets put into like a composting system so that it can be also used for good. And so I said, do you guys know how to do that? They said, of course we do. And so, well, that's what I did. I asked them to put that system in place so that we can get rid of that parasitic system. I asked, when was it created, to go back in time? They said 1,000 years ago it was created as a way to, again, create a problem. Here's our solution, but also then to take the energy that was trapped and put it down into their regions for their use. So the whole system, we're in the process then of dismantling it, because we're also in the process of dismantling the negative worlds. We're not even sending them back to their home of origin. We're sending them back to their home source and dismantling their homes. So it's a whole shift of change, and we'll see what happens. I'm assuming we'll might see some people start to have inventive ideas around it, because energetically they already have an idea, got it started. So that's what I did. Angelique.
Thank you, Sharon. I was walking in a field, in a grassland, and little people are peeking from behind the trees. I do not see them, but I know they are there. And they are, wait a minute, they are there to support us, find our new ways within and without ourselves. I'm seeing myself as if I am in front of a screen, a camera, and like on a television, for instance, and behind me, all kind of action is happening. It is very busy, and a few of these little ones are getting more and more, and are getting more and more little ones, and they are carrying stuff around from one side to another, and placing things from in the space, and yeah, very busy. And then I see 3 white stags coming in, and they carry a load, and the load is given by the little ones, and the load seems to be as light as a feather, and although it looks huge and heavy, it is light as a feather. And then a wind comes in from the south, and the sun is shining bright, and this wind is blowing softly at first, and then harder and harder, and the loads are changing and evaporate into feather-like images. And then they turn over into snow, and the landscape turns into a white landscape, totally white, and is transforming into quiet and calm energy. And silence is surrounding me within and without. Thank you. And I go to Kelly.
Thank you, Angelique. That was beautiful. So, been working a lot with the Nornians. The Nornians have been coming a lot. So the past, the present, the future is, was, will be for a few weeks now. And basically what they're showing me is a reconciliation of past to be present in the future, and then bringing in to be present, and then of course recognizing what's coming in the future. That's their role, right? That's what they are. They are the weavers of fate. They're the ones that pull the strings. They're the ones that weave destiny, the cosmic aspect. So that's all really what I saw, was just them weaving, weaving what it is that they are weaving, the weaving of the energies. But I will share, so when Arlie spoke of her light, they each have a very specific tonation, how I hear them and how they speak to me. And they have a chatter, but Erg, Verdandi, and Scold, past, present, future. Scold, who has a very, they all have a different resonance, started chatting up a storm when you brought in this light. So she was super excited. The Norns are very strong in their opinions. It's either smooth and simple, but if there's something that's out of alignment, they'll come in very harsh. But she was so excited by your comment, Arlie. She started just chatting in my ear about the light. She was like, and so really what they just kept on showing me was reconciliation, the reconciliation of the past, whatever that may be, to understand where we are in the present so we can move forward in the future. So it was just this kaleidoscope of past, present, future. Just kept on going through it. But so really that's just where I was. And Audrey, I will tag you.
Thank you, Kelly. Mine is similar to yours at the end. My part was similar. I was told that all of the accords that we're trying to amend and end won't end with the same energy as they were created, and that we need to look at the wounds and go back farther in time than we think that we can. So we have to go back farther than what we think we're capable of going back to have that all mended. And then it will be able to be healed, but not until we recognize the fact that we can and have that potential to go even back farther and farther. Also, which is like beautiful. I also had a personal thing about compassion for myself in a situation I was just a part of as an outsider, and was concerned about a baby, and the Norns actually, I think it was the future one, the Skald, she wrapped her in this fine white cocoon, and she said it was a cocoon of protection. So it was beautiful, and I am complete. Tina?
A lot of light going on in this conversation. So for me, it was the sense of floating on the surface of a vast body of water, but it wasn't me. It was kind of me, but everything was in this glowy blue, and the water, it was as if there was a ring around me that was the clear water, and then it kind of radiated out over the surface of the water. And it was that lasted for a long time. And there was the sense that there were other circles similar to that, yet it wasn't as defined as the circle that I was in, and kind of floated around in that space for quite a while. And then I kind of came back into the space that I was laying, and then I went back again. When I went back into the energy space, what I saw then is myself as this translucent blue, but vertical, and the energy going out this way, and it looked like it was a 3D mandala. So it went in all directions, going forward and back and in all directions of time. And within that, almost like the color blue was almost like a blue opal. So within that blue, you had the colors of the rainbows in little tiny flecks all over, as if that was all energy going in all directions and there was not clear information of why that energy was there, even though I asked. It was more like, and so it is that connection of the clearing, using energy to clear all and to bring all together. So I am complete. I am going to pick, who hasn't gone? Sharon.
Sharon went.
Oh, she did. So
I think I'm
Linda.
the only one.
Okay, Linda, there you go.
I actually went in somewhat deeper than I have with these experiences, and a face, but it wasn't a human face. It was a face kept showing up, and this has happened to me a few times, and I'm like, I don't know, who are you? But this time it felt very. So what I kept hearing the word is just trust. And I felt that was for me personally, because I think I'm becoming, I'm getting contacted, and it has made me nervous. But this time I just heard the trust. So that's a personal message. But I also feel for all of us that it's also a message that we trust of the change that's coming, of all the ways in which we're getting help. And it is a shift. It's the one we've wanted, you know. So that's me. Yeah. So maybe it's good to take a breath again and just take in all that we've received today. And just hold it all in our hearts. And a sense of appreciation for all the wonderful ways in which we're all participating. So, Sharon, do you want to say anything?
Oh, thank you for hosting. And it's almost like being able to listen to what is up and coming through different languages. As we each received information, there was again a common thread, and it's the variety of the languages that impact a greater field. So, yeah, what an honor to be here. And thank you, Linda, so much. It's a great job. Great job. So maybe you can just invite us to say hello and goodbye, and
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
love, huh, Linda?
Yes. So I want everyone to just bathe in this wonderful, all the beautiful messages, and have a wonderful rest of your day and evening, and feel all the love that we all have.
Yes, indeed. Until we meet again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fun.
Thank you.